Has much changed with what you're going to see from West Virginia from Rich over the years, or do you see a lot of similarities to what you've seen in the past and him kind of working that in?
I think Coach does what he does. I think he's good with an offense, and he does what he does, and we do what we do. So, he knows what we do, and for the most part, I played against him in, 2008 when I was at Northwestern. So, we've both been around a long time, and Coach Narduzzi played against him when he was at Michigan State. And I think he has a system, and he's great at it, and so I think they're doing similar stuff.
Randy, just what is some of the hallmarks of Coach Rodriguez's system?
I think he's got great experience, and he's got great knowledge of offense, and he makes great adjustments, and I think that's why he is who he is.
Just in general, through 2 games, just how would you assess what your unit has done out there?
Well, we got a lot to work on. We've given up too many points and too many yards, and a lot of things to clean up. A lot of mistakes that we got to do better at. I think the kids are playing hard, but we're not anywhere near a finished product. So we've got a lot of work to do to have a successful game Saturday.
What are the things you could have done to force more turnovers in the first few games, or the opportunities?
Well, we'd like to have them every series for sure. There are times we've missed punching at the ball. We had one fumble the first week we didn't get. We've dropped a couple interceptions, so for sure.
Randy, we heard the players say that Zach Carruthers has been doing that type of stuff in practice, that what we saw in the game. Can you comment on his game, and how many guys do you feel like you could have on that D-line that could have breakout games like that?
Well, Zach Carruthers has played that way through camp. So I didn't feel that was a breakout. I just feel like that was a game to showcase it because he got a lot more snaps. But I think he is a guy who's come on tremendously, and so he's going to play a lot more football. Are there other guys like that? I believe, but I'm not going to speculate on them. They're going to have to go out and prove to all of us here that they're the guy that we think they are.
In this era of college football, guys changing schools more, do you think a rivalry like this still packs the same punch? I'm guessing you probably do, and if that's the case, what do you think leads to that?
I think it starts with the fans. They don't leave their teams. So that's number one. I think at the end of the day, tradition, where you end up going, it ends up through osmosis becoming part of you. And so I would guess that the kids who have transferred to Pitt, the kids who have transferred to West Virginia, by the time we get to the game, we'll have a very clear idea of the rivalry.
Joey Zielinski brought to your group of defensive lines this year?
Joey Zielinski plays really, really hard and has continued to get better as he's learned our defense. And as he plays hard, good things happen. He makes big plays. And, the big thing for him is just continuing to learn our system because we're a little more complicated than some, and it just takes a little longer. But played very well and had a lot of good plays on Saturday.
Throughout the first 2 weeks, Javon McIntyre has been targeted a good bit. He allowed a touchdown to CMU. What have you just seen from the tape, and what are you trying to work on him with to make those adjustments?
Well, that's a position where you're playing man-to-man from 10 yards deep. We had guys like DeMar Hamlin, Eric Howlett. Those guys had the same thing happen to them. You just got to flush it and go on to the next play. Some technique things he has to clean up in that first one, and I think he did. And so at the end of the day, that's going to happen in the secondary, and you just got to flush it and go to the next play and continue to get better with technique.
Simply more opportunities with Shadarian. What have you seen from his improvement? Obviously, he had a big game last week.
Yeah, Shadarian is another one of those guys who I'm not surprised that he is where he's at because he has had a great camp. He's continued to come on. He's gotten a lot bigger and stronger over the last 6-8 months. And so it's his time. So I'm excited to see him go out there as the first guy.
Sean Lee is obviously a freshman, but he's given a lot of chances at quarterback so far this season. What have you liked from him?
Sean Lee is a very physical player. He runs well. He's got a lot of power and quickness. And, he's got a lot of 1-2. And boy, he went out there and had a great game also, made some really, really good plays. So excited to watch him play too.
Is it extraordinary to find a guy like Sean who's that physical and has that much strength at his age?
We went out with the idea we were going to find more physical corners, and I think we did. And I think our physicality at corner is tremendously better. I will say, though, that Coach Collins has worked hard on being more physical, better tacklers, all those things, and I think it's showing up. So he's done a great job.
I think there were a couple of times where Isaiah Neal last weekend pumped out and seemed to play a little bit of defensive end. Is that something he can do further into the year? Is that matchup specific?
Yeah, Isaiah can play both inside and outside, and so we move him around based on scheme, technique, matchups, all those kind of things.
Is that did he start doing that maybe this spring or this offseason, or was he?
No, we did during camp. So it's something that he's been able to do, and he's a high IQ football player, so he can do that pretty quickly.
What else have you wanted to see out of your linebacker group? Is there anything that they need to get better at, obviously?
Well, I think we can cause more fumbles. I think we can get more interceptions. I think we can make more tackles for loss. And I love the ability that they have to be leaders. They've done a nice job of adjusting our defense, getting us in the right calls, and so being consistent with that is certainly important.
Maybe what players who haven't played in a backyard brawl, specifically haven't played in Morgantown before, what do you feel like they should know about the environment that they're walking into?
Well, it's a big time environment. Their fans are great. They're loud. They're obnoxious. They're outstanding, and they're lucky to have them. And so we just portray to them that it's a big time atmosphere, like many that we play at.
Eli, how do you feel going into this matchup? Obviously against a tough rival, first time at Morgantown. How do you feel so far?
Right now I feel great. Can't wait to play in a rivalry like this. It was a great environment here at home. Last year it was a crazy game, especially towards the end. And I mean, it's a rivalry game, so it's going to be close no matter what. It's going to be hard fought. Really looking forward to it. Really excited about where our offense is right now. I feel like we're on a roll. There's some things to clean up, obviously, but I think our offense is moving in the right direction. Can't wait to see what we do Saturday.
You say the offense is moving in the right direction. What are some of the things that give you confidence in this season?
Operation and just details. We're starting to do the little things right more consistently, and when we're not making those plays that we want to, we realize how minute of a detail it is, and we nip it on the butt, we figure it out real quick, and we move on to the next play, and we're able to go out there and make plays, be explosive, and having a defense like we do that just can help us out. Kind of like a security blanket that we have right now. Just being able to go out there, get stops, get us the ball back pretty quick, helps us out a lot, especially guys like my boy Braylan Lovelace over there.
Talking to some of the guys that have played in that game in 2023, like maybe Braylan, Bear, some of those guys, what have you heard about that atmosphere in West Virginia?
It's a hectic environment. It's going to be a lot of fun. They said it's crazy. There's going to be little kids flipping me off. I'm going to get batteries and beer thrown at me on the sidelines, all types of stuff like that. But I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to feeding off that energy. I think our team's got that mindset to feed off that energy, feed off the hate and just the pure venom and poison from them. Really looking forward to it and can't wait to do it.
Eli, the beer and batteries aside, are you the kind that you openly welcome that? Do you try to shut it out? I know Saturday's probably a little bit more difficult. How have you personally in your life kind of handled that? I don't know what the right way to put it, being the heel.
Yeah, I got you. It just kind of depends on the situation. There's certain times where you got to shut it out and just focus on the task at hand. But there's also times you want to embrace it and realize, hey, these guys are hating me for a reason. If I wasn't any good, they wouldn't be hating me. Just play with confidence. Play with the attitude that I'm the reason these guys are mad. Go out there and give them something to be mad about. But at the end, shut it all out. The guy that I've been talking to, Coach Jonathan Pixley, control the mechanism. Just lock in, focus on the task at hand, do the little things right, and it's all going to be fun, all going to be fine.
Eli, anything initially standing out to you defensively about what West Virginia does?
They run a lot of different coverages. I know the DC's from Oklahoma. He's from the Brett Venables tree and everything like that. So they're going to throw a lot of stuff out of there, different fronts, different stunts, blitzes, coverages, just got to be ready for everything. We're really looking forward to it. They got a lot of talent on that side of the ball and can't wait to play them.
Whether we were talking to you or Cade Bell or the receivers just before the season during camp, it seemed like generating more explosive plays was something everyone was emphasizing, something you guys wanted to do more, and you you have been able to do that more. And I'm wondering just what has clicked through 2 games offensively that's allowed you to spread the ball out and generate so many explosive plays?
We're taking advantage of being in the right situation and in the right play. The defense is in the coverage that we want them to be in. Coach Bell is making the call that we want them to be in. Our receivers are, it really just comes down to everybody's doing their job, honestly. Coach Bell, quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, offensive linemen, receivers, everybody's just doing their job. We're in the right spot. It's something that we've been working on since spring, summer, fall camp. And what helps is going up against a great defense like we have. They're going to throw a lot of stuff at us like other teams are as well, and just being able to handle that and being able to, when we don't have the right situation or the right play, being able to, not make a bad play worse, just going out there, making plays and having fun.
How was Cade preparing you and the offense overall for that type of loud environment?
He's telling us to embrace it, really. It's going to be loud. It's going to be hectic. We've talked about the pure hatred in this rivalry, but he told us to embrace it. It's going to be a lot of fun. He told us to feed off of it and use that to drive us, get us amped up and motivated to go out there and dominate.
You guys work on any silent counts or anything like that?
Yeah, we're mixing it in every now and then. We got Coach Deuce has the speakers blaring with crowd noise and different chants and everything like that Westfeed does. Country Road's been played about 15 times today during practice and everything like that. But we're going to be prepared for it. We're going to do what we need to do to go out there and execute and win the game.
Before training camp started, Coach Bell said that because you have some more experience in the system, you're able to kind of make your own checks, maybe at the line, maybe get yourself out of bad places and good plays on your own more. How has that been in these first couple of games, actually doing it in live action?
It's been fun. It's kind of a relief when I know when we're not in the right situation, when the defense is giving the look that we don't and that we don't want, and I'm able to, turn it into a positive play, not a negative play. Sliding protections, changing protections, changing some routes, stuff like that. Being able to check the ball down when something's not right. Just being able to stay in good down and distance. What Coach Bell preaches. He says it's easy to play quarterback and easy to be an OC when you're in second mediums, not second and longs or anything like that. So obviously just not making a bad play worse, checking the ball down, when there's nothing there, going out and running and everything like that. Just playing ball, understanding what I'm getting, understand my answers, and just go out there and have fun, play free and loose.
How do you think the offensive line has been under second-year Cade Bell and how they improved, at least in terms of stamina and just being ready every single play?
My offensive line is playing phenomenal right now. We're having over 120, 150 yards rushing a game. I've been sacked once each game. Just little things here, obviously, that we need to clean up on offense as a whole. But offensive line's giving me all the time that I need to go down there and make some plays. Haven't been a lot of penalties. We're really playing clean football, smart football. We have a really experienced offensive line right now. A lot of old guys that have played a lot of football games, and I'm really, really comfortable back there, dropping back. Don't really have to worry about pressures or blitzes or anything like that. So we can go out there and make those explosive plays that we've been talking about, and go out there and be that explosive and high-powered and fast offense that we need to be.
And how would you describe the performance of the linebacker unit in his first 2 games? What are some things you've been looking to work on?
I think we look great. As a whole unit, I think we look great. I think we're getting downhill. We're playing violent, we're playing fast, playing very physical. Especially with the run. I think we had a good game last week. I think we just got to keep moving that forward every week. Just keep stacking, keep getting better every day.
Just the one turnover through those 2 games. There's opportunities out there for you guys to take advantage of that you maybe just haven't been able to in those first 2 games.
Yeah, no, most definitely. We want to create more turnovers. There's definitely a lot of opportunities that we're missing where we're just just missing it by this much. Just little details that we can fix. That we could create way more turnovers, be a little bit more physical with punching in the ball and things like that.
What do you recall from that game in 2023 going down there? You were a true freshman playing in that environment.
It's a great environment to want to play in. That's environments like that, sold out crowds, loud stadiums. Saying that's something that as a kid, like, you dream and playing, and you see it on TV, you see it in person, but now you get to be the person in there. That's something that I'm very excited to experience. I loved it as a freshman to hear in the stadium roar when a play happens, and then it goes silent when we come back and make a play. That's something I'm very excited to see.
Do you have memories of the backyard brawl from when you were a kid?
Man, not very much. I'm not that old as I seem.
Mark, you were one of the quarterbacks down there that might play. You saw What do you just remember from the way he played and some of the things you're seeing on tape so far?
He's a good player. He's starting for a reason. I think that he's a great player to go lead that team, to do what they have to do to make the plays and stuff. He just does everything well. And that's what I see.
It's tough to prepare for a team that has been 2 games of film on them, but now, it's 70-something new players, right? Is it tougher to prepare for a team like that when you have to watch guys at their old school playing together and things like that?
Yeah, to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, the way I like to think about it is no matter what, we're just going out there and playing ball. They have to run their offense, we got to run our defense. So, we can pick up on their little tendencies of how an individual person plays, but at the end of the day, you got to play within the offensive coordinator's offense. So, we just want to play our style of defense against their style of offense and do it.
As a top unit, last week you guys played about 95% of the snaps for you and Rasheem and Kyle. Do you guys feel like you're conditioned and capable to play, 95 to 100% of the time on the field?
Yeah, most definitely. We go hard in the off season over here at Pitt. I think Coach Stack and the rest of the strength staff, they keep us up to condition and make it so that when it comes to tempo games like this and things like that, there's no even question that we're in shape and ready to play over 100 snaps every game. And then at practice we go against a tempo office all camp, all spring. So it's something that we are conditioning all year round for. So.
How do you find the balance between letting an environment like that fuel you, give you energy versus not overdoing it? Letting your emotions do the best to you, I guess.
I think that just comes with preparation. Taking it throughout the week so that when things are getting hard, the crowd's a little bit more hectic than they were the last snap. You just go back to what your training is. Go back to what we've been practicing for months now, just play ball, no matter how loud the stadium is, no matter how quiet the stadium is, we're just playing ball at the end of the day, doing us.
Braylan, how have you found practice? Eli was saying that it had turned up country roads, which I know he's done before, and the crowd noise is really loud. Is it more than a typical week? Is it causing confusion that you guys are going to have, having to work for?
I know as a defense, it's loud, but we communicate loud every week. It's no matter how loud the crowd noise is in each stadium, we try to make sure our communication is loud enough no matter what, so that if we're in a loud stadium, if we're in a quiet stadium, we're ready to go. Everybody's getting the communication, everybody's playing the same mindset.
Braylan, just how have you found your comfortability to be just starting off this year, just playing a couple games on the inside now, as far as the nuances of going from the outside to the inside, and also just being more and more vocal at your position?
It's been something that I've been working on, like I've said in previous times. But like you said, I'm getting a lot more comfortable with it. It's a lot easier, especially with two guys. Two of my Sharks that are really great linebackers outside of me. It helps me. When pressure's getting high, to just calm down, know that I got 10 more players around me that are going to make a play, so I don't have to overthink too much stuff. I could just be me out there, be the person that I've trained to be over the last year, get my call, make it, and play ball.
Over the past 2 years, there's been a bit more rotation in the linebacker room, but with you and Rasheem and Kyle going to be playing a lot of those snaps, do you feel like it gives you an edge knowing that there's the three same guys pretty much every single play out there?
Yeah, I think just knowing that the Sharks is out there, ready to go hunt, ready to go do what they do, and then we could get comfortable all game, just keep attacking every play, so definitely.
You see about guys like Sean Darian, younger guys coming in the defense, playing quarterback. How do you see them adjust to being in the game, just playing a lot more obviously so far?
Yeah, definitely. Especially the two of them, like you said, Shadarian, he had a great game against CMU. Somebody that's really just stepping up, like you said, and then to go out there and perform like that against a run-heavy offense, stick his nose in there. He had a bunch of tackles, things like that. That's very impressive to see. He's going to be a guy for sure. Once he for sure gets into the swing of things, and then Sean Lee to step up as a freshman. like I know how it feels. You know, there's pressure out there. You know, little crowd noises. You know, you got people chirping and yelling at you, but you just keep your head on straight and you just go do what you do. You feel me? He's been showing that all camp. You know, the whole time he's been here, he's been showing that he's a ball player and that no matter what situation we throw at him, he's going to succeed.
Anything else? Thank you, Braylan.
Thank y'all.
Jimmy, what's it been like watching Zach come along this training camp and his first couple games, basically?
It's been great, you know, seeing his growth from when he first got here to now, especially, you know, last game, seeing him, you know, get those 2 sacks. But yeah, it's just been great, you know, seeing him grow as a player and just, you know, watching the game slow down for him, like, you know, week to week.
How's he grown?
You know, in every aspect of the game, to be honest, you know, pass rush, stopping a run. You know, I remember when he first got here, you know, he was like, you know, like a freshman, timid, you know what I mean? But now seeing him go out and make plays full speed, like, it's definitely, like, been good to watch.
You guys have, what, I believe 8 sacks through 2 games. Do you feel like there's still more sacks you guys have left on the table?
Yeah, definitely. You know, for myself, you know, that roughing the passer penalty last game, that was one of them. And then just the little stuff. You know, we watched the film on Sunday, and, you know, we all were saying, like, man, like, you know, this person missed this play, hey, this person missed that play. So it's definitely just a, you know, a big emphasis on finishing and, you know, making those plays so, you know, we can win.
Is there something specific with those plays that you can correct to finish those plays?
I think every play is different, you know, like whether it's reaching, you know, not for a guy's head or for the ball, you know, finishing backside arm, you know, being in the right gap. You know, it's just a game of inches, to be honest.
What's your impression been of Blaine Spires just playing a lot of snaps with them through a couple games so far?
Yeah, Blaine's a dog. You know, he's been showing that, you know, week in and week out. You know, he struggled a little bit because his hand, but, you know, he's getting used to the cast and, you know, everything that comes along with that. So, you know, Blaine's definitely came along, you know, pretty well, especially from, you know, the spring to camp because, you know, he didn't really do spring ball either. So, you know, he kind of missed out on those reps.
How do you feel like you've improved as a second-year starter under Coach Dallas?
Just being more aggressive, you know what I mean, not thinking as much. You know, me and Coach Dallas, we talk about that all the time. Just going out and being that same dog every down, you know what I mean, like not taking plays off or, you know, getting in my own head.
What if you guys get to run for something?
I just think it's being physical. You know, I think that was like a big emphasis last year, and I think it's, you know, even bigger emphasis now. You know, we got to stop the run, you know, and that's just what's going to allow us, you know, to pass rush. And, you know, I think that's where, you know, the numbers kind of are like coming in at, you know what I mean, just because we were able to stop the run on Saturday and it kind of forced them to have to throw the ball, you know what I mean? So that's the same emphasis going into this week because, you know, they're a run-heavy team. You know, stop the run early so we can have fun on 3rd down.
Anything else? Jimmy, thank you.
Thank you.